Chapter 8, Footsteps of Faith. In the footsteps of faith, I had to step out. Like a baby bird in mama's nest, I had to jump out. Adolescents are misguided in today's world because they have followed a path that led them into trust issues. When Frank was 14 years old, he became scared and double-minded simply because he didn't know which voices to listen to. Life becomes an arena when you grow up with trust issues. While locked inside this fight to the death, you are mentally battling how to approach life. You have the way you grew up, the way you learned, the way people and images have influenced you, and the uncharted territory where your spirit says there's got to be another way. Yet, the same question arises at every fork in the road. What if you go against everything you know? This uncertainty was the root of Frank's fear. However, this fear fades away when you figure out which voice to listen to. You must mute the voices until you first create an identification within yourself. Just like the runway at the airport, it'll highlight the correct route for your life. You can unmute the voices echoing in the world once you've established this identity within yourself. Soon, the right voice to listen to is going to gain more volume than the others, and it'll speak to the identity you planted inside yourself. This equips your journey through life with a combination lock for security. You'll channel out all the wrong voices like it's second nature. It is essential that you stay true to what's secure to you, the voices that are eligible to speak to you, and the roadmap you believe in. Now it boils down to this. What price are you willing to pay in order to stay the course? Not only for your physical self, but for the identity you've created inside, your spiritual self. It was Frank's experiences from being hypocritical, scared, and double-minded that pointed out who he could and could not trust. In the midst of dodging all the wrong voices, there was one voice that never steered him the wrong way. The voice of Mother Carrie. As an adolescent, Frank was upset because his mother was single and couldn't grant him everything he saw amongst his peers. However, he always trusted her. His father was never active in his life, and he never came in contact with the ghost of his grandparents' origins. He trusted his mother because she was all he knew. She was the familiar voice in his head at every fork in the road, and her voice coached his conscience when identifying right from wrong outside of their home. His mother kept an umbrella of security over her home, but she always feared that her children lacked protection as they walked into the world on a daily basis. Her solution to keeping them within arm's reach of her protection, regardless of how far from home they may be, was to feed their inner spirit by encouraging them to get baptized. Mother Carrie's security was his motivation, but he personally wanted to get baptized because he was yearning for guidance from a higher power. When he stepped into the water, he felt like a baby bird that had jumped from his mother's nest. Mother Carrie no longer worried because Frank was about to get his wings of security that would fly him to greater heights. When he was submerged underwater for the first time, a layer of protection wrapped around his life, serving as an unbreakable shield. He never feared making the wrong decisions and never feared that the right decisions weren't available. Mother Carrie gave him access to faith before he could identify what faith really was. Frank was already physically going out yearning for access, but this was the moment he started to grow and embody the spirit to fight this war internally. One of his greatest characteristics as a child is that he always yearned for wisdom and knowledge in everything he saw. When you walk by faith, it's peculiar to people. You're playing a role in something that's so much bigger than yourself. If you had known earlier, you would have gotten overwhelmed. When you're the only one who sees the complete picture, while everyone else merely sees a few pieces, you must walk by faith and not by sight. This is the only way to guide them into a world that they didn't know existed.